Today's matchup. Creator. Innovation. Classic. Bunny.
Welcome back, everybody. We are ready now to go into our PvP and see who will win here and then go on and face off against Innovation. Just one more spot left in the round of 8. It's either going to go to a Terran or one of the two Protosses we have.
Yeah, Creator and Classic. Hopefully one of them will be able to make it there against Innovation. I kind of hate to root against Innovation because it would be such a good story for him to come back. You know, only been competing again for a couple of months after military service to make it to the round of 8. But I really want a Protoss, at least one Protoss in the round of 8. Please. I'm begging you. StarCraft gods.
Please. For ire.
Lord knows we need it.
Yeah, man. So Creator and Classic are going to be duking it out here. I don't really know who takes this one, to be honest. I mean, I haven't really had a lot of exposure to PvP as of late. You know,
yeah.
my last StarCraft 2 cast was obviously doing IEM, which did end up as a what do you call it? A TVT finals, of course. So like, it's been a lot of TVTs.
Yeah, a lot of TVTs. Gonna get more of that here today.
Yeah.
Or not today, excuse me, but in GSL Code S.
In the weeks to come.
Week
to come, I guess, and then we'll see what the finals actually look like. But yeah, I mean, Creator, look, as of late, he has been more impressive. But Creator is like, I mean, there's a reason why he's one of the players that has not won a GSL yet. Is he's very hot or cold.
Yeah, hot and cold is the perfect way to describe him.
He has these moments where like, he looks like a genius. He seems to have, by the way, maybe the biggest range of builds out of everybody that's here.
Yeah, he
knows so much.
Yeah, he had some cool builds today in his first match. Like that 60T blink into the main base so early while taking a third was something I haven't seen before.
I feel like
It's a lot of
Classic's
fun to watch.
getting lower and lower on the every time we see him in the picture. Like he's getting further and further
shrinking
down. Eventually, we're just going to see the top of his head, like just his hair.
It's like Benjamin Button. He's also getting younger eventually. He's
Yeah,
just like a baby
he's
sitting
just
there in the
shrinking,
chair.
Yeah. We're going to go to Ancient Cisterna for this PvP, guys. Creator versus Classic starts now. Or in 5 seconds from now. There we go. There we go.
Club NV. Creator.
I like that jacket.
Yeah, it is a nice jacket. Must be his team's.
Classic.
I think you're right. I think he is getting
Look
lower.
how tall that door is behind him. It's crazy.
All right, so let's see what our player is up to do here. I'm wondering whether we're going to see any proxies here in game number 1. Actually don't have, okay, it is Creator there in the bottom left. Didn't see it there on the prompter who is who in this PvP mirror. Will be Creator sending out the Gateway Scout. Both players opting for a second gas. And Creator with a Scout looks like he's just beelining there to Classic space, so nothing too crazy this early. Both players also going to throw down their second Gateway Cybernetics core, and I think it's from then that we'll start to see things really start to kind of diverge.
I think so, yeah. I mean, we want to see, is there going to be any kind of major deviation here? And right now, I mean, you know, they're just basically both making the same thing, so it's hard to really call it. We'll see if it's going to be like 2 Stalkers or, you know, 2 Adepts or something like that. We do have a probe that's now parked down here at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Which, to me, tells me he's probably going to hide something down here, so he's going to make a pylon. Let's see what the tech is going to be down there. Could be a Twilight Council, maybe even DT tech.
It could also be Classic just throwing down a second pylon because Creator went for this probe scout early. Because Creator, he's going to be counting the pylons in the main base of Classic, right?
Right.
He's like, okay, where is your second pylon? You don't have the main base. There must be some proxy aggression coming at me.
Right.
And then there isn't. So this could just be him trying to get in the head of Creator. Well, we'll see if he decides to use it. But right now, that probe just in the middle of the map, far away from that pylon.
So 2 Stalkers are coming out now for Creator, where we have a Stalker and a Sentry. You know, the Sentry is usually just used to make hallucinated Phoenixes and scout with them. Try to figure out what exactly is going on there.
Yeah, and Classic is just going to be doing that. No proxy tech at that pylon, down at the 6 o'clock position. This probe now coming into the main base. And, you know, he also waited for kind of an awkward time now coming in. This is when the probe would be coming into the main base of Creator, say if it built like some crazy fast tech, right? So
Right.
some level of mind games going on right now, and you also see, I think that's Creator on the map. Yeah, it is. Just trying to scout around almost everywhere on the top side because he knows there's a pylon missing. He just wants to find it. Isn't going to be able to, and I'm liking this from Classic. He does this and throws down a Nexus.
Yeah. Quick expand there. We have 2 more sentries actually coming here as well. So here's the hallucinated Oracle from Creator. That's going to come up and try to see what's going on. But I think for now we're not going to have that much going on. I know PvP can be a very cheesy, crazy matchup, but I think this one to start things off really isn't.
No.
They're basically both just trying to safely get another base up here.
Should be relatively straightforward here, at least in the early game. Both players going for, relatively mirrored builds. I mean, even now, both going for the Twilight Council.
Yeah, well,
2
this
Stalkers,
is great.
2 Sentries.
We're going to have more of a macro PvP, which I'm very down to see. PvP is funny because it can be kind of hard at pro levels to get to like 3 bases and 4 bases because there's so many ways, just by the nature of the cybernetics core giving you so many different tech options. There's so many ways the game can end early, but this game's certainly not going to be one of them.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more vanilla here for both these players. And keep in mind that, this is an elimination match. Loser of this best of 3, they are out of the GSL for this season. Warner will go on to play Innovation in an attempt to make it to the round of 8, but there's a lot on the line. So, playing nice and conservatively here in game number 1, just trying to feel things out, get a good read on, how your macro play stacks up against the opponent. Can be a pretty good approach here in the best of 3 format.
Yeah, quiet start. Blink is going to be coming here. I do like the Forge here from Classic. If you're not going to be trying to end the game right away, you do have to get a Forge.
Yeah.
Or those upgrades will just win you the game in the long run. So if we don't see a Forge coming here from Creator, then I think he has to attack, right?
You would think so. Or he has to find some other way to get an advantage by spending resources. And so it looks like for him right now, that's going to be going for a faster 3rd base here than Classic. And I mean, this does lead down a road. The later and later that he delays that Forge, the wider the gap is going to be between the upgrades and the bigger the window that Classic might have to take advantage of later on in the game, should he opt to go for a timing. But with a faster expansion, Creator's economy should be a little bit better, at least here in the mid-game.
Yeah, so far so good here. 3rd base coming. And we're, I got to say, one of the quietest PvPs I've casted here in GSL. We've had so many more explosive PvPs to start things off. 2 Adepts are going to shade forward here, and 2 Adepts can easily one-shot a probe, and that's exactly what we're going to see happen over here now.
Yeah, so good number of probes going down here. Classic picking up 3 already. Now shading into the main base. Going to try and run away from these Stalkers and Sentries. I guess not. Well, didn't have too many places to go anyway. Blink will be finished, and that Adept is going to go down. Creator with a nice shield battery wall in there at the top of the ramp did not allow the Adept to get into the main base.
So +1 attack's almost done. We have Zealot Charge coming here as well as having some more gateways. And it looks like Creator's going to come out and try to attack in over here. This is actually more Stalkers right now for Creator, but the shield battery is going to be pretty handy in balancing this out right now for Classic.
Yeah, it's a tough position to attack into unless you're setting up for something like this. Setting up for a attack here at the natural expansion with these 2 Adepts, getting more damage than Classic did earlier in this match. I mean, 5 probes going down is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, a lot of lost mining time here as well, as that last Adept is finally shot down.
Yeah, and if Creator hadn't gone for that poke with these Stalkers and Sentries, Classic probably would have been in a better position to actually intercept it. So they're just applying a little bit of pressure, creating an opening there at the natural expansion, and compounding this economic lead a little bit now. 4 worker advantage here in the favor of Creator. But I am concerned about the upgrades, Tasteless, because there's no +1 for Creator, and Classic is already starting +2. This makes me think that we're going to see an all-in. I mean,
yeah,
it kind of has to be, right?
If you don't have a Forge, then this has to be an all-in, right? I mean, there is not like a game that, that goes on for a long time that's like, oh no, you don't get upgrades in that matchup.
Yeah.
Right? It just isn't a thing. I mean, having all of your units be stronger in attack or in having armor.
Yeah, only 4 gases here for Creator as well, so just really piling on the gateways and focusing on these minerals and also cutting probes a bit. Keep in mind that he did have that 4-worker lead a moment ago. Now Classic actually has the worker lead, so a fair number of probes have been cut. As Creator going to be looking to make a killing blow here against Classic on 3 bases. Classic morphing in his first Templar. Will be trying to get some Archons out to help deal with these Zealots. +2 ground weapons, probably only about halfway done. So he's going to have to make do with just +1 for now. And here we go. Attack coming in.
I mean, this is a lot right now. Those Zealots are going to tear down that battery and start hitting workers, but the rest of the army is going to be clashing right up here around these force fields that blink forward, but another warp in now comes from Creator.
Yep, a couple more force fields in the bag. Actually, no, Sentry only has 1 energy for one of them, as finally those Zealots do get cleaned up at the natural expansion of Classic. A couple of probes did go down, but those Immortal anchoring the army here. It doesn't feel like Creator has much more than these Stalkers, so he's getting a ton of value through this Immortal. More Zealots are going to get warped in. If Classic can find a way to just try and balance this out and stabilize, I think he's going to be fine. I mean, look at the army supplies. He's actually ahead.
Yeah, I feel like Classic's already almost won this game. He's doing a really good job with just not letting this Immortal die off. It's finally picked off in the back. There's already a second Immortal over here.
But so many Stalkers are going down to take out these Immortals, and behind this, Creator has really nothing. He's been cutting probes. Yes, he was able to kill 12 probes of Classic, but he doesn't even have a forge. I don't even think he made one in transition. No, it's just now going down. So Templar Archives only just now starting. Forge only just now starting. Classic finally has +2 ground weapons. I think Classic with this Warp Prism just pushes across the map and kills him. And oh man, 4 Zealots.
There it is.
Yeah, that's just it. Creator knows. He has no chance of staying in this one, as Classic with some nice defense there. Able to hold on.
Yeah, I mean, it was just Classic playing a more straight-up game, and Creator trying to snowball this in a moment that just didn't really make a lot of sense. Is it an exercise bike behind the chair?
It does look like it, yeah.
It is an exercise bike.
Yeah. Or is it one of those stepper things? It's actually hard to tell with the resolution.
It's
it
hard
could
to
be like one
say.
of those, what do you even call them? The thing is like the staircase machine?
It's not a staircase machine.
Yeah, I know.
Those are massive.
Oh, yeah. But it's...
Yeah. That's me at the gym for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, this is so hard to do.
It might be the one that you do like this. You know what I'm talking
elliptical.
about? Elliptical. You're so fit, Tasteless.
Yeah,
Are you a
I'm not
gym
fit.
rat, Tasteless? Are you bulking right now? Is that what's going on?
No, I mean, if I take my shirt off, I look like cookie dough that's been dropped in a barber shop. But I do know my workout machines. Yes.
Picking up everyone's beard shaving.
Yes. It's just
all the stray hairs.
Yeah. But I do know my machines. And I don't know which one that was from Creator. I'll tell you, man, Creator's not looking good today.
No, it's been a little bit shaky. I like the kind of...
That was an anti-timing.
It was. I mean, you could tell that he was kind of keying in on going for that. I mean, that was the game plan. It wasn't a spur-of-the-moment thing where he's like,
the whole
okay.
game led up to that. Yeah, it was very deliberate.
It was deliberate. He's like, I'm not going to go for a forge. I'm just going to go for this timing. Feign a third base kind of, just saturate it in minerals, cut probes, and then just go with a Hail Mary play with all these Zealots. And it didn't work, but frankly, it didn't feel like Classic was doing anything special to defend that, It's just Creator kind of came in, and Classic was like, okay, this is the position we're in. I guess it's kind of fine.
Yeah.
And he holds on there on Cistern, so Creator, a little bit of a shaky start here today. If I'm not mistaken, 0-3 so far in maps as he's looking to come back here against Classic.
Grazvin, going to be map number 2. That's already loaded up. We're ready to go. Good luck, Creator, because right now Classic is looking primed to escape the next match here in the group of D.
Not quite a group of death,
Yeah,
but it is a group of D.
It's a group of D. It's not really the death group.
Club NV, Creator.
Maybe a number of years ago, this could have been the group of death. I mean, Innovation and Classic, those are some heavy hitters from way back when,
Yeah. That's an exciting room he's in. All right, so we've got the gateways here. Are we going to have double gate openings? We had a very slow start for that last PvP. Like, nothing really happened. They both got up to 3 bases and didn't really engage with each other.
Yeah, there was a little bit of mind games with Classic proxying his second pylon, but it was just to try and throw Creator off, which I don't think it did too much. Creator still went for the fast expansion. He still went for, I think it was 2 Stalkers and 3 Sentries, so he didn't deviate from his, macro opening. And I'm wondering if we're going to see more of the same here in game number 2. I'm surprised that we didn't get anything truly aggressive at all there to start things out in this best of 3, because PvP can be quite explosive at times.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to these crazy PvPs happening where it's like, you know, they're at each other's throat and someone's going to die off one base or two base. The number of times we've seen like someone just push a two base Protoss on one base has been incredible, but you know, these trends kind of change over time. So maybe we're going to have a passive one to start this off again. Who knows?
It could be the way that meta is shifting a little bit in PvP. Would be hard to tell considering we don't get too many PvPs
we don't get
in the
to
current
cast a
state
lot
of the
them
game.
right now.
Yeah.
And again, Innovation is waiting for the winner of these two.
Innovation, you know, historically leading up into this, been a little bit struggling here in TVP since his return to StarCraft 2, but, you know, winning his first match against Protoss today, going into what will finally be the decider match. I think he's going to be feeling a little bit more confident against either of these guys.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think Tasteless we're shaping up for what should be another relatively passive game. We do have a Twilight Cancel getting thrown down here from Classic, but I'm wondering if that's because he anticipated this pylon block coming in. He knows he can't throw the Nexus timing down when he wants to, so he's like, okay, I'll just, you know, start my tech a little bit earlier.
And he's actually coming across the map right now with these two Stalkers, so I think he wants to try to basically draw this away. If he can keep the pylon alive, I mean, you're just never going to get your Nexus up there. Keep in mind, Creator's already started his Nexus, so this is kind of a cool situation we're seeing here.
Yeah, a bit different. A bit different. I was thinking that Classic would try and take down that pylon a little bit more rapidly here to get that Nexus started, but instead opting for 4 Stalkers and, yeah, now going for a Dark
DTs.
Shrine. So
very cool.
Okay, I'm not sure if this was the plan from the get-go or if this was a response to just not being able to go for that Nexus as quickly.
I think it's a response.
Yeah,
you gotta be careful though.
You
gotta be careful when you do this. Like if you block them from expanding, you have to be ready for the fact that they may just hit you with something. You know.
I mean, PvP is oftentimes very much a fluid matchup in that way, where you kind of have to roll with the punches and, you know.
Oh, he's gonna get this probe over here.
Oh, he is. But luckily, there is a probe in position here to drop down a shield battery. So. Only confirming the natural expansion, doesn't see much more than that as these 4 Stalkers start to pressure. And actually hallucinating 2 Stalkers there for Creator. One of them took full brunt of damage there. And that's going to be Creator holding on and buying time for that shield battery. I mean, 4 Stalkers against 3, it could have gone Classic's way, but some pretty clever play there from Creator. Hallucinating 2 Stalkers, I like that.
Yeah, I think it's a really smart move here. Creator's going to pause. Lag.
Yeah, hopefully this gets resolved pretty quickly.
Yep. My tie is getting all twisted up.
Oh, is it?
What's going on here?
Yeah, I haven't been looking at the prompter too much, but...
We're okay now. We're back. We're all right.
Good.
All right, so we're going to see if they can fix that. I don't know what the deal is, but...
Yeah, hopefully it won't be too long of a break. But, you know, so far things shaken out in a pretty interesting way. I like that we're seeing this DT play come in from Classic, and Creator going for that macro expansion kind of makes things a little bit less parallel from game number 1. So, you know, the onus is on Classic, I think, to try and get a little bit of damage done with this faster tech, because he's going to be a couple workers behind.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to make of this situation with the pause here. Hopefully they can get that sorted, because if it's online, it's like, well, how do we even? It's like BattleNet. You know what I mean? Like it's not a live event, so I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I think our admins are talking with the players right now on Discord chat to try and sort this out and get it alleviated as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, we're basically having these Stalkers come in and harass at the entrance, and the idea is that he's trying to generate the threat of the Stalker push, when really it's going to be DTs coming up next.
Yeah, and also, I mean, going for those 4 Stalkers early, you just kind of want to get any value you can out of them, right? So, seems like we do actually have a little bit of lag, so delay might go on a little bit longer. But I do want to point out, I mean, it's such a small thing, but Creator going for that hallucinated Stalker when it was a 3 versus 4.
Very cool.
And the Stalker, like, it died. It tanked the full brunt of the damage.
Yeah.
So that
it was really good. It was one of the better usages of hallucinate that we could see in the early game.
It's always fun when you get to see someone use hallucination in a cool way like that.
Yeah, well, I think we had a lot of high hopes for hallucination. Obviously, we all remember when Huck did that to Hydra.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, actually.
I thought we were going to see more of that, and instead it kind of became just used to make Phoenixes and Scouts. Excuse me.
Yeah, occasionally you can do it in some situations. Like, you can hallucinate some Stalkers if you're not ready to intercept a... Like, say you have a handful of stalkers in your main base and Terran's going to come in with a drop, you know they're going to come in with a drop.
Right.
You want to scare them away. You can hallucinate maybe 1 or 2 batches of stalkers and be like, okay, I have 6 here. You do not want to drop me. Go back.
Or you hallucinate an Immortal in a push, or sometimes we see hallucinated Archons.
But yeah, it's not used as much anymore, and I think it's probably because, you know, Sentry just overall we don't see too much action in Protoss matchups these days, except for PvP.
Yeah, it doesn't have much of an integral role there. They're still chatting. We're gonna notify you guys if they figure this out. But yeah, I'm not sure. You know, I mean, most of the time, if there's an issue, we have the players at the studio, so we can like, switch out the PC. We have a system, but like I'm not sure how exactly this gets handled.
Yeah, at least so far, you know, in GSL Code S, switching to this online format through the round of 16 and the round of 8, we really haven't had too many hiccups.
It's been pretty seamless so far, yeah.
Play. And actually, okay, it looks like we're going to be getting back into the game. Should be jumping into that in just a second as action has resumed.
Whoop.
And we have another pause.
Oh, I see.
So I think you guys.
So they actually, I think they want to check.
Oh, they're saying it's really bad.
Okay.
Says creator. I wonder what the situation might be. I mean, there is the opportunity that, you know, these players can just. Oh yeah, it might be PC. It might be PC lag. It might be server lag. We're not sure exactly what the situation is. I mean, this is something that we can do in StarCraft 2. Like maybe they quit the game and we have them resume from replay. Which actually on the prompt it seems like that's going to be what we're going for. So it'll be probably a minute or 2 before we get back into that game. And
yeah, I think so. They'll pull that back up, and then hopefully the lag's gone.
Yeah.
So they're both going to reboot their PCs now. At least we've been told that.
Yeah.
And then we'll hop back into the game.
Yeah, hopefully should be able to get back into it. And man, it's nice actually having this feature here in StarCraft 2 where you can rejoin like this. I don't think any RTS really does. StarCraft Brood War.
No, there's nothing like that.
Nothing like this. Yeah, because you know, I play a little bit of Age of Empires 4 for fun, and that one also
you can't literally jump back into the
you can't even pause. It's pretty.
You can't pause.
You can't pause. It's pretty bad.
That's
it's
weird.
Pretty bad.
Man.
I mean, the technology isn't there yet, but for StarCraft 2, I mean, we're so spoiled being able to play.
The thing with so many RTSs, like when they dropped Age of Empires, like it didn't have a ladder.
Yeah.
Like that for me, I'm like I have to have a ladder.
Yeah,
that's where I love laddering. I love getting a coffee and just playing against faceless other people that are also competing. And trying to move up in my rank and then kind of seeing where I'm at. Am I bad? Am I lower than I thought? Is it possible I can get like, you know, top 1,000 or 500 or 100? You know, whatever. But yeah, there's so many good features in StarCraft 2 that like other games still don't have yet.
I mean, StarCraft 2, it's an older game now, but I'm pretty sure everyone that watches GSL at some point was, you know, playing, and you're on the ladder, and you like seeing that incremental progress as you're advancing through the leagues or through your divisions. And then, you know, sometimes, you will fall back a little bit, and you'll be like, okay, I have to reassess. What can I do better? Let me watch some of these pro streams. Let me download some of these replays. Get an idea of how I can improve. And that's such an important part of RTS. And, I mean, just as StarCraft 2 fans in general, we're so spoiled with actually the engine that we have. Being able to resume from replay, being able to pause the game.
That's one of the exciting things about you know, the upcoming Stormgate game coming out is they've made their own engine for it.
It should be a lot of fun.
If you're gonna have a good RTS game, you have to have an engine built. Apparently, you know, anything where you have that many objects moving at once. It's why when you play a lot of other RTS games, I'm sure that you've experienced the same thing that we've experienced, where it's like it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
The way things interact, and it's because if it's not designed well enough to have that many objects all flowing and moving around, it comes out kind of feeling weird.
Pathing can get strange, or attack moving can sometimes be strange.
Or
units
units overlap. They're like little sprites, and they stack on top of each other. I
haven't run into any RTS games with that. That does not sound pleasant.
I've played a couple. So they're going to try to resume. I think they're going to test it. I don't know that we're going to put it on camera yet, but they're going to count it down and then see if this is still hiccuping.
Yeah.
So as a reminder, we do have Stalker pressure to try to force an Immortal out here from Creator, when in fact Classic is going for DTs.
Okay, and the action resumes. No pauses yet, so I'm guessing that, you know, with the restart, we're able to reset here and progress through this game as we kind of try to get our bearings a little bit again. Dark Strike is completed here, and actually, oh no, Wallen! This is one of those things that can also happen with a pause.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to be immediately at the ready for action like this.
To center yourself.
And there's a Warp Prism following up the Immortal, so the first ET coming in here for Classic has the potential to get a lot of damage done.
Oh, and he's going to wrap all the way around here.
Yeah, it almost feels like Classic is trying to bait Creator away. And okay, he sees the shades. He sees the blur of the DT here. Force fields the ramp, couple of probes going down. Warp Prism gets canceled at half completion. Observer now halfway done, but this is a lot of damage here on Creator, and at the very least, Classic equalizes, and I mean, from here it feels like he has a really good position.
He's in good shape. He's going to get more gateways. We do have a Warp Prism that can be used for a push.
I think that's...
But the DTs can also counter right back in. The scary thing is when you have DTs in your base is like you need to at least get 2 observers, which takes a lot of extra time.
Yeah, so I think after this Warp Prism, we will probably see another observer made, and then Creator's going to try to use that back at home to defend and hit a timing with a Warp Prism micro, with the 1 immortal that he has. He has a good number of sentries, good number of force fields. I think 2 in the bag right now on 1 sentry. The other 2 sentries slowly gathering up enough energy for 1 force field. But oh no, Tasteless!
Oh.
The Warp Prism gets caught by Classic Stalkers.
Oh my
it gets
God,
taken out.
It's a disaster.
No reinforcements here for Creator, who is currently down by 12 workers. Classic actually feeling confident enough to throw down a 3rd Expo.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to cancel that 3rd Expo.
Yeah.
It's going to be an unfortunate moment to lose this Archon.
Yeah, this Archon does get caught in the middle of the map. We'll be able to make it all the way back to the shield battery. Overcharge will get popped to keep that Archon alive. Focus fire coming in. Probe's actually getting pulled here as Classic is counterattacking here at Creator's side of the map. All right, we blink forward. We try to take down this Immortal, but there's only a handful of Stalkers here, so a lot of counter damage coming in. But keep in mind, this attack is also happening on Creator's side of the map.
Yeah, I think that this game is almost over. A lot of workers are going to be picked off here, but there's so many Stalkers right now. For Classic here, killing so many of these probes.
Yeah, I'm not sure Creator's going to have an answer for this. Look at his economy. I don't know if there's an Immortal in production, but he desperately needs one as Classic finally stabilizing back at home. Has a ton of Blink Stalkers right here. 1 Immortal now in production, but look at the mineral in the gas bank here for Creator. Almost no mining. The Warp Prism gets picked off again, and that's going to be it. Classic wins 2-0 over Creator and will face Innovation in the final match of Group D.
Beautiful game there from Classic, and yeah, let's do this, man.
Yeah, that was hype.
Classic versus Innovation. That was a great game. Love the DT play. I love that he gets out too. He doesn't like overextend. He's like, no, there's going to be an observer here. I got to run.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
sad
cool
that it's going to be our only PvP here in this tournament, but it was a
Hope
good
you
one.
enjoyed that matchup. You're going to have to wait until Season 2.
See you again in a couple of months with another PvP.
Yeah. You can rewatch that one a couple times if you're trying to learn that matchup, because we're not giving you any more than that.
Yeah.
And so now it's going to be Innovation versus Classic. I think this is a great match to end this on. I hope that Classic advances. That would be the dream.
It would be the dream. I mean, Classic, he's been trying to put it together for a long time since coming back from military service. And Innovation also, you know, fresh off military service, only been competing again for a couple of months. Would also be a great story for him to make the round of 8. But you know, just as a fan of the game, I love to see all 3 races represented.
Guys, we're going to go to a break. We come back, our final best of 3. You don't want to miss it. Will we have a Protoss move on or not? We'll find out soon.